This video is sponsored by my favorite website creator, Squarespace, the best place to go when you want to get a domain or create a gorgeous website or an online store. Okay, here's a video about creating healthy habits, some of my favorite daily or weekly habits actually, but these are not your standard eat healthy, exercise and hydrate type of habits. These are perhaps a bit more like niche and like strange ones that I just happen to like, but I see no one else discussing much. So let's see what you think. I tried to both go for like physical and mental health because honestly, they're so connected anyway that one doesn't make much sense without the other. Or what do you think? First up, let me get a little bit personal. For the last probably 2 years, my stomach has become like really sensitive. My stomach has always been my Achilles heel, like the one place on my body that is most sensitive to change and stress and diet. Basically, my stomach is like a barometer on my mental and physical overall well-being. And these last 2 years, I mean, buying a flat, renovating a flat, and publishing my debut novel all in 1 year, it was not very clever now, was it? So that's when my stomach started to complain. And when she complains, she does it quite strongly. So feeling bloated and stomach pain and like reacting really strongly to different kind of foods and all of that. Now life has calmed down. I don't feel nearly as stressed as in 2023. I mean, last year I felt practically peaced out and zen compared to 2023, but the stomach problems kind of continued. It seemed more like out of habit than anything else. And here's the strange thing. I've understood by now, like with trial and error, that there are mostly 3 things that my stomach is reacting to. Stress, no surprise there. Coffee, not surprising either, but the third and seemingly most powerful irritant seems to be, listen to this, fiber. Too much fiber. Like I've heard this strange number a few years ago that in the US, when they tested this, 3% of the population didn't eat enough protein, but 97% of the population didn't eat enough fiber. Have you heard this number too? Well, it turns out for me, I'm the rogue human specimen that somehow manages to eat too much. I eat a lot of veggies, like a lot of it, and much of it raw, which is like also tougher on the digestion. So lately I've been switching up my diet to still very fiber heavy, but a little softer on the belly. So I switched out my lunch to cold porridge with bananas and apples and berries instead of noodle soup with broccoli and spinach that I used to eat for lunch most days. I find that porridge is the key. It changes the whole mood of my stomach, making it feel all like soft and warm and happy. And I've noticed this in my past too, that oat porridge is just my stomach's favorite food and will always like calm me down. I talked more about this, like feeling bloated and having a sensitive stomach in a previous video, which is what I eat video. So like my everyday diet and what works for my health and my body. So if you have a sensitive stomach, or if you just want to like create some healthier everyday dietary choices, go watch that video and go try cold porridge for lunch. Recommend. In early autumn, I started jogging. And I mean started because I only got like through 9 jogs before I had to stop. The reason I wanted to start jogging is because I felt like it's the most time efficient and flexible way for me to work out. I don't like classes because I don't like having a time to keep. Like I want to exercise whenever I'm done with work or whenever I wake up in the morning. If I have a 7 p.m. class to go to, I will feel like stressed during the day whether I will finish work on time. So classes are out. After years of like going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week, I started like resenting it too because it felt like there was too much fiddling, like with packing a bag, making my way over there, and like a lot of hassle and time put into like actually not working out around the workout. So as you know, I've been doing a combination of long walks, like 90 minutes to 2 hours, in combination with 30-minute mat exercises 3 or 4 mornings a week for like the last year or so. And it has really worked well. I am pain-free, I feel strong. I love walking because you just put on your shoes and start exercising immediately without like any fuss of going to the gym. And even more so because it's like mentally so healthy. Listening to birds, smelling the trees, looking at dogs, it like chills me out. But of course, walking is not that aerobic. I want to give my heart a bit more of a challenge and also like cut down my 2-hour walk to a 1-hour session. So I thought I would try jogging. Now, I've tried this in the past, like years and years ago. And to be honest, my body, it's not so good. Like I have issues. I'm overly flexible and like weirdly shaped, and I'm not like a compact, robust person, but you know, optimism and all that. So I started slowly, like doing the intervals and stretching religiously and not overdoing it. But still 3 weeks in and my knees just pop. I had felt a little tightness and strangeness on like jog 6, 7 and 8 too, but on jog 9, I can tell, can't I, that something is up. And after that, I had this like strange knee pain for weeks and weeks. I mean, so bad that I couldn't even go on my daily walks, which is like seriously my way to meditate, to like process the stress of the day. So basically a huge part of how I take care of myself, both body-wise, but also brain-wise, is going for a walk. So my point with this story is that I learned a beautiful lesson from my knees giving in, and that is to like accept my body. My body has some good parts and some bad attributes. I'm not like very compact and robust, fine. I have to accept that. And instead of pushing my body, I should have listened to it when my knees first started feeling a little strange back at jog 6 or 7. I would have saved myself the sadness of severe knee pain for like weeks. Long walks plus mat work, that is what makes my body happy. Hopefully I will find some more aerobic way to exercise down the line. What I'm doing right now is good enough. And like next time, I will lay off at the first sign of my body telling me something doesn't feel right. Last summer, I bought David a summer present, a Mandoline. Oh man, hello, this is like the best present because it has like revolutionized our cooking. We especially use it to like julienne, cucumber and carrots, but also like slicing onion, peppers, cabbage. It cuts down like our cooking time so drastically, but also makes the food look so pretty. Like noodle salads and summer rolls and stir fries, kale salad, coleslaw, apple slices, healthy homemade fries is like nothing this fella can't do. So if you're one of those people who'd like to eat more greens but find all that prep work daunting, this is your next birthday present. Swish, 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 and you have like a beautiful salad. So we've all heard about those studies that like show that classical music makes you more intelligent or whatever. It sounds a little bit ridiculous, but also not very surprising if what you're talking about is music that is calming, which not all classical music is, of course. But the more popular classical music tend to be really calm. And a calm brain is a better working brain, that makes sense. If we also take into account that most classical music is instrumental, so without lyrics, it means that, at least for me, it's much less of a distraction. My brain snags on song lyrics and processes the words without me actively wanting it to. So instrumental is for me the only way to fly when I'm working, so when I need to focus, or when I'm reading. So I'm focusing intently on other words when I'm reading, so I don't want lyrics. I can't read to song lyrics, it divides my attention so much. So the fact that I'm almost always listening to calm instrumental music is just one of the ways that I tend to actively go seeking for calm. You know, I work so intensely and my way to relax is mostly reading, which is also quite intense if you look at the focus that it demands. I don't like adding things to my life that rouses me. I like actively adding things to my life that calm me. Like no horror films, almost never too hectic music. Instead I go for calming smells, calming teas, a glass of white wine, my softest clothes. And of course, that's not just to make my brain more focused and intelligent. It's to make my brain calmer, thus happier, thus more able to keep focused on one thing and not get distracted or like non-stop scrolling my phone. For me anyway, a calm brain is a happy Jenny, and music is a huge part of that. For me it is anyway. I got David a new Apple Watch for his birthday last year, and he had an old second-hand one before that I now have inherited. I don't really use it for much, to be honest, but the one reason I still put it on every day is because I'm crazy about checking my heart rate throughout the day. It's like a game, but it's also a way to like monitor my own fitness level and stress level a little bit. So I'm going to brag now, just a fair warning, because as it turns out, my resting heart rate, I have looked this up, what it should be for a woman my age, and the average resting heart rate is like between 73 and 78, but my resting heart rate average throughout the day is usually between 58 and 62, which is the same as excellent, or listen to this, athlete level resting heart rate. This is the first and last instance in my life that anyone will ever remotely compare me to an athlete. I'm pretty sure, lazy, that's what I am. So I'm soaking this up. excellent resting heart rate. I mean, it's a strange brag, but I'll take it. And what I love about monitoring my heart rate like this is, you know, the body is so weird and mysterious. It's so hard to know just like what's going on in there, that it gives me pleasure to at least like keep track of how my heart is doing, you know? Also, what are you feeling about those genetic illness tests you can do? Like, you know, the ones that show you if you have any predisposition for certain illnesses. I've not done one of those tests and I'm quite skeptical, to be honest. I'm not sure what it would do to your psyche to know that you might get Alzheimer's or whatever. But how are you feeling? Would you want to take that kind of test? And how would you feel if you found out something was a little bit risky for you? Oh, this is another good one and quite rogue. Speaking of medical health, I've started to like very casually learn a little bit about first aid. I think it's because I'm a worrier. Like sometimes I wake up in the night and I think a little bit too long about the many ways that David might die tomorrow. So just looking up a few things have been quite fun actually. And also, of course, it's good to know these things. For example, did you know that if someone is bleeding and you're like, I don't know, pressing a towel or something on the wound, if the towel bleeds through, you shouldn't take it off the wound and replace it with a fresh towel, but instead just press a fresh towel on top of the first one? Or did you know that there are like points on the body where you can press the aorta against the bone to reduce heavy bleeding? I've also learned that there's like a way to pick up David if he's unconscious, even though he's really much too heavy for my slim muscles. It's all about the rolling motion. I don't know about you, but to me, this is fascinating stuff. So if you have any weird and wonderful first aid or other like medical hacks, please do share. I love this stuff. Okay, maybe this was a little bit of a rogue one, but my point is, of course it's good to know basic first aid, but also it would make me sleep better at night, not worrying as much about David dying, which is also healthy, like mentally healthy. So it's a win-win really. A daily habit that I'm absolutely adoring is the new shower ritual that I've been doing for the last 6 months or so, and it's cleaning my face with a soft Japanese washcloth and scrubbing my body with a loofah sponge. The loofah is like the most delightful feeling, and of course like it improves your circulation and all that, but the face washcloth I think is an even bigger favorite of mine because it just gets that like London grime off my face, and honestly, afterwards, my face feels like completely different, just like new levels of smoothness, like a polished billiard ball type of smooth. It's again that like combination, which I feel has inadvertently become the theme of this whole video, that habits that combine physical and mental health. So this shower ritual every morning, it is good for my body and face, of course, but it also just makes me feel nice and it calms me down and makes me feel like I'm taking care of myself and like treating my skin and my body nicely. And I think that's like such a huge part of health, and probably why a lot of you have clicked this video to begin with. Not because you want your body to feel good, but because you want to feel good about making your body feel good. Do you know what I mean? It's a fantastic way of life, feeling like you are taking active steps to treat yourself well and to set yourself up with a body that can take the stress of today, but also like the challenges of growing older. Like when I eat healthy or do those like awful side planks on the mat, I think about how it will make me feel tomorrow, sure, but I also think just as much how it will affect 98-year-old Granny Jenny. Like she will thank me for all the broccoli, for the squats, and she will probably be annoyed with me for all the champagne. But it's a nice, heartwarming thought, isn't it? Lifetime wellness instead of just, you know, tomorrow wellness. But please do tell me any first aid hacks, and have you thought anything about taking one of those genetic illness tests, or have you done one already? And also, do you agree with me that like the type of music you play affects your brain so much? You know, I'm a complete sucker for all things health and wellness, especially the weird and rogue stuff. So very much look forward to reading your comments on all this. Also give me a like if you enjoy these type of videos, and don't forget to subscribe if you are new to my channel so that I will see you next week already. Do you want to create a stunning website or launch your own blog? Squarespace has you covered with its latest innovations. First up, let's talk about the new Design Intelligence. Combining 20 years of design expertise with cutting-edge AI, this tool helps you unlock your creative potential, building a personalized, one-of-a-kind website that fits your needs. Squarespace also makes running an online store easier with Squarespace Payments. Onboarding is fast and you can start accepting payments in just a few minutes. Plus, it supports various popular payment options like Klarna, Apple Pay, Afterpay, and others, giving your customers payment flexibility. And for seamless social media integration, Squarespace allows you to connect your social media accounts in just a few clicks, whether you're embedding a feed or syncing your products directly to Instagram or Facebook. It's an effortless way to expand your reach and keep everything in sync. So what are you waiting for? Go get your free trial today at squarespace.com. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/jennymustard to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That is a really good deal. Okay, thanks for today. I had a really good time talking to you and see you in the comments. Bye bye bye.